Yeah, it looks a little suspect, especially out there. I'm on it. So it's still frozen. I mean, this might take a few more days to, we need some good days of sun. Basically, the forecast is gonna be rain for the next 5 days, and then we're gonna have 3 days of sun. You were skating on it earlier this year. That was pretty impressive. Saunder's good at skating. I think I got a few videos, so I'll show you. I mean, it's pretty appropriate right now because the Olympics are on, and I mean, you're no Olympic skater, but.
It's really cool when you go backwards and you see the lines you're making. All right, now it's your turn.
No way, man.
What?
You learned how to do this as a kid. I didn't.
Maybe.
This will be one of our last days of winter. The snow is actually starting to melt, and this will be the first day that it gets to be about 10 degrees Celsius or about 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So there's not much sun right now in the sky, but I expect that the snow is going to be gone in a couple days because it only gets warmer from here. And it's pretty exciting. I thought we'd come out and do just like a quick little winter tour before it's all gone, but fat buds of this magnolia are coming out really strongly, which is nice. And you're starting to see just pops of green. So I had these over in the winter months because I did plant quite a bit of tulips in here, some species tulips and some honky-tonk tulips that are nice, small pink and yellow tulips. And I figured, you know, the squirrels like to dig in here, so maybe I could salvage some, but this has some geraniums as well. You might recall just 7-8 months ago, we started to do this soft landing under here. So it's not just going to be a mulched circle, there'll be more life, more plants underneath this magnolia, particularly in the springtime because there'll be a lot of spring bloomers. And I'll probably get out here maybe this week before it gets hot because it's going to be in like the 60s to almost 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's going to be, or 20 degrees Celsius for those who do Celsius. This is all our pycnanthemum. And I like to leave the plants up in the winter months because it just provides food and shelter. So food for the birds, especially for the seeds. I'm seeing lots of juncos and also goldfinches out here. You know, I also feed them in the feeders as well, but it's nice when they actually have food in the environment. And if you look under here, this is always a most miraculous garden. It looks like nothing now, but you could see some of the green popping up with the sedge and the geraniums. Here we have Helioborus fetidus, which is the stinking hellebore. And this is just going to be a carpet of green. So you'll see probably in a month or so that this will turn. Maybe it's still low lying on the ground because by June everything's up and running. Last night we had icy rain, and it just coated all of the trees in this beautiful halo of ice. Luckily not enough to break any branches. We had a strong winter in the sense that there was quite a lot of snow and it was very cold, but we didn't have any heavy snows that broke any branches because typically we have that in a year. This is a plant that had been here pre-existing. It's a prostrate Norway spruce. And you can see there's quite a lot of damage that we had last year, probably from the deer, maybe from the rabbits, but I think it's from the deer. We don't have any deer on our land now because we have successfully kept the deer out for a year. And this area right here, we might decide we might cut some of this back. Not all of it, but some of it. And that actually gives us an opportunity to be able to walk behind there and grab the hose, which has always been a bit of a challenge, and we have to negotiate our steps back there in order to be able to get to the hose. But if you could see all the green on the ground, I mean, this is pretty amazing. I mean, this has been so cold, so snowy, and this thyme right here, this is like little bits of penstemon that have crept in between the walk path. All the penstemon here, you could see some of the seed heads are up, but I'm gonna come in here and chop it all down. So probably within the next few days, just chop it all down and just wait to see some of that green come up. Normally I cut this back in February, but we're in March now, early March. This is all old growth, and it basically, you start getting the new green. This is Calamagrostis Carl Forrester, if you want to know what you're looking at. I love the structure of this, especially the fall and the winter months. You can see it has this beautiful golden hue, and I love the look of grass because it just has this great movement in the garden, and this also gives really good structure. But you can see that there's green already starting on the base. So what you want to do is cut this preferably at the end of winter or in really, really early spring. Cut it back so all that green growth could grow up, because otherwise that green growth would have to grow up through this, and it's not going to look as nice. I'm really curious as to what bulbs will pop up this year. It's always something new every year because the bulbs that we put in have kind of evened out. Like, we don't have as many tulips anymore. They just spread and they have green, but they often don't flower. And you can see certain areas of our land retain quite a lot of moisture. So we find that we have a lot of moisture here and behind the oak. We might have like little springs that come up. We haven't really tested, but all these plants seem to be doing extremely well, even though they might not look like much right now. This is one of our mountain laurels right here, Kalmia latifolia. And this was a very tiny birch tree that I had planted. It's a Betula river birch that I have to get you the cultivar name. I think it's called Little King, but it only grows about 8 to 10 feet. And it gets that beautiful flaky bark, and I only planted it quite small, and it's grown up really nicely. It's still small, don't get me wrong, but from where I had planted it, it looks good. And then I'm also just seeing little bits of green. So you could see here, just coming up, maybe that's a little cyclamen. And then in here, I saw just a bit of geranium coming in. You could see right here, inside this wood, and a bit through out in there. But I'm gonna cut this all back, and that'll take a lot of biomass. What I'm doing with the biomass is basically tossing it into the meadow, because pretty much once everything melts and it's not super wet, we're going to borrow our neighbor's pull behind. What is that called?
One of those rotary mowers.
Yeah, it's a rotary mower, but it's like a...
You used to see them on tractors. They're like 6 feet.
Yeah, and we just put it on our UTV and we pull it behind. Did it roughly take you 2 hours or 5 hours? I can't remember now. 2 hours to basically mow the whole 9 acres. And we have to be careful because there's some trees in there that we've planted. So oftentimes I'm there guiding Sonder in some instances.
The reason it takes so little time is because you can go quite fast because the grass is all dead.
Yes.
And it doesn't take much to chop it.
Yeah, so it's great. It's like it's a toe behind brush hog. I think that's what it, yeah, I couldn't think of the name. Anyway, so that's gonna be one of our projects in the spring. And then we're just gonna get new growth. So I'd like to show you this because it doesn't look like much, but it's promising. For those of us who know and go through winter, this is exciting. Even the little bit of green that we have here on this ilex coming in, that, you know, obviously the ilex didn't lose its leaves in the winter months, but and nor did the rhododendrons. So we'll hopefully be getting some flowers on the rhododendrons this year, because if you remember last year, the deer had got in and ate off all the buds. And look at this, all the prostrate cherries are coming in really nicely. I went and looked out in the orchard. The buds are looking super good. In fact, out in the orchard, I think I'm going to also not only cut these back, but I'm going to start clipping and pruning some of the trees in the orchard. Now's a good time because we know spring is around the corner, just to shape them a little bit better. So some of the apple trees, the cherries, etc. So yeah, this is it. This is just a little hint into the last days of winter, and we'll be getting ready for spring very soon, which means that we'll be back in the landscape and maybe getting distracted from all the renovations that we need to do still yet in this house, which will be an upcoming video as well.